front of this.
Dad?
This carriage had these two babies in it.
When was your birthday?
Look at them and they both started
March 16th.
Which was?
19.
Okay, let's put the date up here.
He wants to know which birthday it was here.
75th.
And he's only telling
Yeah,
you,
okay, they got
but
you.
don't tell anyone else.
Yeah, it's a
There we go.
Secret or
Wow.
keep it to yourself, Erwin.
All right.
Who's older?
I don't know.
Mom, I want to make sure to get some time to interview you about your girlhood.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Want to say anything about it now?
I don't know. What do you want to know?
Well, tell me about what my grandpa Louie used to do for a living.
Your grandpa Louie was made pop.
That's what I thought. It was a pop factory, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? I remember.
Uncle Schleimer.
Uncle Schleimer was with that too?
Yes.
And how long did they do that for?
Years, always.
Till we were
What flavor?
all flavors, mostly strawberry.
What was?
The Jews like strawberries.
And was it? Did they like have a bottling
Yes.
franchise?
Well, it was Elgin Bottling Company.
Do they have
And they didn't make their own pop. They bought the
they
syrup.
did.
They bought the syrup
Oh,
from
they
somebody.
bought the syrup.
They bought the syrup.
So-
What was
really
the
all they
brand?
did
What
was-
was on the bottle?
Elgin Bottling.
Bottling Company is the name of
So
the
all
They
they
make
really
much
did
money
was
doing
carbonate
this?
the water, right?
They make much money doing this?
No, they didn't make much money.
They made a
but
living.
made a living.
What about the burlap bags?
They have not.
Oh,
Oh,
that
that
was
was
long
much
after.
later.
Okay, well, what was the burlap bag operation
That's
about?
my sister might know.
I don't know from there.
Come on.
I don't think he used to go out on the road and go to the different farmers and pick up their burlap bags
And what would he do with
and
it?
bring them back. He had a small pickup truck with a shell on it,
Uh-huh.
and he used to bring it back and sell it to the dealers here, and they'd make rags out of it.
So,
They'd so much per pound.
why did he get out of the pop business?
Oh, because it went down the drain. Coca-Cola came in, and Pepsi came in,
Drove him out of business.
and then he sold it out to his brother.
And then Dad went to work for Uncle Joe. Who was with?
But that
Who was he with? Uncle Joe.
I can't remember
Then
that.
it just outran the horse when she got scared.
He went to work for my uncle.
Oi! Is that what you mean?
He also went to Detroit and brought home used
Cars. And
And once he brought a
a green one. Grandma said, green! Ish! Remember that?
I tell it.
You'll never sell that one. You'll never sell it. The first time he put it in the paper, the ad, he sold it.
She had a fit.
So tell me about your neighborhood when you were young and growing up.
It was a nice neighborhood.
What was your address? Do you remember?
1801 15th Avenue South.
Uh-huh.
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And what was the neighborhood
We were
like?
right on the
It was a
streetcar
mixed
line,
neighborhood.
remember?
Right on the streetcar lines. A mixed neighborhood.
But
And we had the nicest black neighbors
neighbors.
across the street from us that were the nicest people. Just a husband and wife, right, Molly?
Uh-huh.
Very nice.
On another side were the Silversteins. Another
And
side
Stern.
Orba,
And Stearns.
A lot of Jews in your neighborhood?
Yes.
And Mrs. Brand and her son.
Were you very religious there?
No.
Did you go to synagogue and that kind of stuff? No?
Back the TV.
Your dad was very religious, I remember.
My dad was the one. My mother was not.
But your mother couldn't care less, and you girls
But
didn't.
my mother observed for my dad's sake. Always.
Did Uncle Irving have a bar mitzvah?
Of course.
But they didn't have bat mitzvahs back then.
No.
That
They
wasn't
didn't even
done.
fuss with a bar mitzvah.
Now, was this an Orthodox temple you went to?
Very.
Where the women had to sit separately?
Right.
When
And-
Jim was bar mitzvahed and we went to Minneapolis for his bar mitzvah, we women had to sit upstairs. The men were downstairs.
Where'd you guys live?
And I was furious. My one and only son and I couldn't sit down there.
Uh-huh. I think I remember that place.
You remember
Now,
my bar mitzvah?
let me tell you, I have another question. Do either of you remember how to make?
And it was so...
Not a
Do
man.
either of you remember how to make grievin?
Oh, I make them all the time.
Grievin?
Okay. Really?
No, you can't.
How about Aggies?
Oh,
Yeah, you got the
can't buy
eggies in the
those
grievin.
anymore.
They don't have the eggs.
Well, can't you got to go and buy a chicken from the farmer to make
Yeah,
eggies,
but
right?
they still no.
They
I don't
still
think
might
kill
don't
them. The only way we used to get eggs is when Grandpa used to pick up the chicken and feel the chicken to see if it was ready to lay, and he would take it to the shaychet, and they would kill it right there. Then he'd bring it home and open it up, and we'd get eggs. And then they'd come running with the eggs to the kids.
Why don't you just wait for
Grandma
them to
used to
lay
make the
it?
gluten and bring the eggs. The livers, the whole thing. What else do you want us to make?
Would you mind telling me some stuff about my Uncle Irving?
If I can. He was the most loving, caring person that ever was. He
Used to
adored
take his mother and lift her up
in the air,
around.
carry her around. Seeper, remember?
I mean, someone used to carry Grandma Jenny around.
Yes, my brother.
It must have been strong.
When he wanted to kid around
He
with
was
her,
strong.
Right,
picked her up
and
carried
he
her around.
he lived when we were when our kids were little. We lived downstairs, and Grandma and Grandpa lived upstairs. And Uncle Irv used to come in from St. Cloud, and Grandma, when she knew he was coming, stay out of her way. She was so busy preparing everything that Irving liked, but she used to get angry because he'd stop downstairs first at our house and play with the kids.
At our house? You mean at your house?
My house.
You
yeah.
lived downstairs from
Yeah.
your parents?
Uh-huh.
For how long?
Diane
Until
was
they
little
moved into their
there.
house on Watchford.
No.
You lived downstairs. You moved from that house
Yeah,
to
but
the
then
one
we
on
moved
Watchford.
again.
Where did you move from Mom?
First we lived upstairs, then we moved downstairs. And then when
When
Jerry
you
went to
lived
Pearl
upstairs,
Harbor,
where did Mom live?
we lived with her.
Oh, but when you lived separately, you lived down. And then from
Downstairs.
down, you went to Watchford.
Right.
To their house at the
But
house on
Uncle
Watford.
Irv used to stop every time he'd get a new
he
car.
loved
He'd
Diane
pick
and
up
Barbara.
Diane and Barbara and put them in and travel around with them.
He
He'd
loved
stop
them.
downstairs always first. He was very caring. He really was.
He was really involved with his.
He was involved with his
nieces.
personal life.
And
yeah.
Jerry. He was very close to Jerry.
Yeah, he told Jerry things that we never knew.
Believe me. He didn't tell me. He wasn't
No.
real close to me. He was
And you know,
close to me.
Grandma used to feel it too, because she used to think that we knew things that she didn't know. And
Well,
it
she
used-
thought Dad told you things that
oh
she didn't.
yes, right. He was
Now, how many years younger than you were is Uncle Irving?
2 years younger than your mother,
And
2 years
yes,
younger than
and
you.
4.5 younger than me. Uncle Irv and your mom have the same birthdays. October
What was he
17th.
like when he was growing up? When he was in high school and
He
such?
was nice.
He was a nice kid.
What did he do? Did he get
When
in
he
trouble?
was
No,
Jerry had his
never.
mother around.
The only thing he ever got in trouble
He never got in trouble because he always had his mother in his
when
arms.
when he and Billy Barbish took out the car once. You remember at 13,
Yeah.
they took my dad's car, and I don't know what happened, but they
don't
got
remember.
picked up by the police.
I don't remember.
That's the
Yeah,
only
I don't
thing.
remember that.
Don't you?
All I
You might have
rem-
been. Were you already living in? No, you weren't. No.
Everybody should be.
He was in the service, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Where did he go? What did he do?
Overseas, he was in Okinawa.
He was.
4 years.
He was in the Marines
And-
or what?
No,
The Army.
Everybody should
And
be.
and he used to, in order to let us know where he was, he wrote us a letter and say, "I'm okay now," and that was his signal to us that he was in Okinawa. Remember?
What kind of work was he in when he died?
He was in the in St. Cloud. He had iron and metal.
What was his role in it?
He was a partner.
He was a partner in it. He and another young man who had been buddies.
It would be a good. It was going to
He
be a
did
good
very
business,
well.
I
He
imagine.
did very well there.
Yeah, I still have his watch. I wear it to good occasions.
You know why you have his watch?
It's in good shape.
Because your grandmother said that watch was for you. Because
Yeah.
you're his namesake.
It's a very nice watch. I still get compliments on it. I had a patient of mine who actually had an identical watch to it. He came in. I was wearing it one day because my usual watch had gotten broken in a bike accident. I hadn't gotten a new one yet, so I was wearing that one, and he commented on it, and he was quite impressed by it. And his father had one just like it.
Isn't that interesting?
I think he bought it.
You know, when he was very small, he used to get anything he really wanted because he was the baby and the boy.
Uh-huh.
And he had, some of his friends had gotten long pants. And my mother used to keep them in short pants. Remember that?
Came home and he says to my mother,
98
cents
cents.
for
98
whoopee pants.
Whoopee pants.
Came
They
home and
ran
wanted whoopee pants.
ran to Kaplan's department store, which was like a few blocks from us,
Whoopee pants.
and brought them home.
They were
whoopee
kind of
pants.
flared at the, they were jeans.
Yeah.
Flared at the bottom.
98 cents
Came
for
home
whoopee pants.
98 cents for whoopee pants, Mom.
Later.
Oh,
He broke Grandma's heart when we lost him. Sad.
it's the pits.
Now, was she? Do you think that she was a pretty high-strung and nervous person before that happened, wasn't she? But it made her a lot more
Changed
anxious.
completely after
It was
that.
very...
Yeah, it was very hard.
He had was
I imagine it took a long time before she really could
She
accept
never
it.
really accepted it. And she was alone in the house when they called to tell her that she had been in this accident, remember?
But I will say she was wonderful to us.
My Grandpa Louis was a nice man, I remember. Very sweet man. I remember, you know, my main memory from in my childhood was when I was sitting on the stairs, going up next to our built-in stereo in our house, Mom. You came back from the hospital, and I asked you if when am I going to be able to visit Grandpa Louis, and you said, well, he's been moved to a new hospital, and I said, well, what hospital is he moved to? And you said, to where the angels are.
I don't remember.
That's how you told them.
And I cried, and I went upstairs and I cried. Roger was sitting on the stairs, I believe, right above me. I remember I cried quite a bit and I was very upset, but to this day I remember it as being a very nice way to be told that.
I don't remember that. I'm glad I did it right.
We were supposed to go several days before that, but you said, oh, he's doing much better.
The day he died, he was doing great.
That's why I never got
I
there
came
till
home, I
after
was
he
so
was
thrilled,
gone.
and they called me an hour later, you gotta come back. What's the matter? Your dad is dying. I says, he was wonderful. But I didn't know then it's the calm before the storm.
Well, you know, it's not really a storm. The thing is with heart attacks is you can have, especially back with the way they used to treat them, you could have an arrhythmia, and that's probably what he had. He had an arrhythmia and
That was
died.
it.
That's what happened to Dorothy.
That was it. But I remember, we didn't take you to the funeral. I wouldn't let you go. But Roger insisted. And for a long time after, Roger was a basket case.
Well, wasn't
You weren't?
Grandma made you go up and look in the coffin?
Ida.
Yes.
First of
Grandma
all,
Ida? I thought it was Grandma Jenny.
First of all, they made me sit with Grandma Ida. That was the worst part.
Well, because we were in the back.
That grandma smell?
And then Grandma
No, she didn't.
Yes. Charlie
The
Tuna.
cleanest lady in the whole world.
And then,
Grandmas have an odor to children.
Oh, baloney.
They do.
Yeah, it's a
and then
different
she
cook.
made me go look in the casket.
Was it Grandma Ida? I thought it was Grandma,
Grandma
Jenny.
Ida.
No,
Grandma
I
Ida.
was in the back room where I went out of it.
But Roger, you never got along very well with Grandma Jenny because of some altercation when she was babysitting with us once,
She
right?
didn't like the way I washed clothes.
No, wasn't there some
You were ready
affair?
to wash, and she was
Some-
watching television and didn't want to leave the television. And
Some
the
big
son
argument.
was going to help her watch. No.
You were ready to play.
And
Play,
she
and she wanted you to watch.
Mom, you know what my main memory of my best memory of Grandma Jenny was?
Yes, well, Grandma Jenny loved you.
One time she took me out by herself in some old car she had
Yeah.
when I was about 4 or 5, about Sadie's age, to Breezy Point.
Oh, really?
And she taught me how to swing
Oh my God!
by
She
myself.
taught
She
you.
taught me how to swing. She taught me how to swing.
Ever driving a car?
Well,
No,
she didn't
she
drive.
didn't drive.
Well, somebody took me out there. I was out there with her and
Wasn't
swinging.
her-
And well, don't ruin my memory, please. And she taught me how to swing.
She didn't. She was scared to death of the water.
She taught me how to
Swim,
swing.
swing.
Oh, swing! I thought.
Swing. She taught me how to
swim.
pump my legs and
Sheldon,
swing.
Sheldon Goodman taught him how to swim.
Yeah, he did.